It is time to try to make sense of Week 10.
Inside, and a beauty! Hall running free! Brees Hall inside the 10! He's gonna score!
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and today we're going to try to make sense of Week 10 and predict every single win or loss from any team this week. But before we hop into that, a couple of announcements. Guys, in the description, there are links to the Patreon, my Twitter, my merch, donation pages, all of that stuff. If you feel like you want to help the channel grow and you want to do something a little bit extra, all of that stuff is down there, but none of it is necessary. I really, honestly, would just appreciate it if you guys went down there, hit the sub button, hit the like button if you like the video, and left a comment. The comment section is going absolutely insane, and I love it. I would never try to control you guys down there, because what's the point? That's the whole point of these videos, is to talk with you guys. But let's hop right into today's video. Actually, one more thing. We're doing a bunch of collabs this week. In a couple of hours, you're going to see a drop of a video, a pretty long video between me and Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. It was a great mid-season review talking about the highlights, the lowlights, the expectations, all of that stuff. That's great. We have a collab coming with Matt O'Leary, talking about our mid-season awards. Really excited for that. Gunny from New York Jets Situation Report is coming on the channel, and we're going to be predicting and going over every game on the back half of the schedule. Buffalo Jet Fan is going to come on, and we're going to do our first and last mock draft of this year. We're not doing another mock draft until 2023. Mark, that's a promise, but it's the halfway part of the season. Come on, why not? We thought it'd be a fun time, and so many more exciting things. But let's just go in to today's video. Let's talk about last week. Last week I did absolutely atrocious, and could you blame me? Who would have predicted? Last week I went 6-5 when it comes to like predicting wins and losses correctly, but like, I didn't think Indy was going to be this bad under Frank Reich, and like they fired him, and then they brought in Jeff Saturday, and so I got that game wrong. I also predicted the Buffalo Bills to beat the New York Jets, which is crazy that we won that game, but we did, and I should have had more faith in my football team, and that's on me. I also had Vegas over Jacksonville. I don't know why I still believe in Vegas. They're just not a good football team, and I think it's 100% on coaching. Me and Ryan from Just Talk 24/7 were talking about this before our video, and about like something's wrong in Vegas, and it has to be from the top down. They have to punt everybody to the moon when it comes to a general manager, coaching staff, because they're just not doing well to lose to Jacksonville like they did. I also had New Orleans winning over Baltimore. I got that wrong. I obviously had Green Bay over Detroit, got that wrong. And then I had the Rams over the Bucks. I got that wrong. But this week, I feel like we're going to be batting a little bit better. So let's just hop right in to this week's matchups and start talking about it. So we're going to talk about tomorrow, obviously, is the Falcons at Panthers for Thursday night football. I feel like this one's pretty easy. While the Panthers are competitive, and we saw them be competitive against the Falcons, before, I think the Panthers have gotten have fallen down to earth a little bit, and the Falcons have gotten a little bit better. So I'm going to give the win here to the Falcons. I just have more faith in that team right now with what they have over the Panthers. We don't know what they have in a coaching staff. We don't know what they have with players and all of that stuff. So Falcons over Panthers in Carolina. Then we move on to the Seattle Seahawks versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I'm taking Seattle 9 times out of 10 right now. Todd Bowles is showing why he shouldn't be a head coach in this NFL, and that's not me trying to take a dig at Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is one of those guys that unfortunately is a fantastic defensive coordinator and will have a career as a defensive coordinator for a long time, but just isn't a head coach, and that's what we're seeing. And then also the offense in Tampa just isn't clicking. Something's off. I don't know if it's Tom going through his emotional stuff with a divorce, and I know that can be messy, or I don't know what it is, but they're just not working, and it's crazy because that offensive coordinator, and I can't believe I'm blanking out on his name. I had it written down in my other notebook, is like he was up for head coaching jobs, And now it's just like, is he out of that conversation? Does Tampa Bay look this bad? And is part of it his fault? I don't know what it is, but Tampa Bay probably not going to win or do anything. And this game is in Germany, which I think is really, really cool. So there's that. Now we move on to the 1 o'clock games. The first one we're going to talk about is the Lions at Chicago to play the Bears. I have the Bears winning this game. I know the Lions just came off of a win against Green Bay, and Chicago's coming off a loss against Miami. But beating Green Bay isn't that impressive now. Green Bay is a bad football team, and that's something that people need to understand now. And the Bears went toe-to-toe with Miami, and it's just that the Denver defense isn't going to be able to stop what Justin Fields can do with his legs, straight up. And that's it. The league hasn't figured out Justin Fields' legs yet, and Denver's defense is by far and away the worst unit that they have. Their offense is actually pretty high-flying and does a lot of really good things. So I'm going to have the Bears over this one, and they're playing in Chicago. Yeah, Bears win here. I'm going to skip the Browns game and the Dolphins game because I still haven't decided who I want to win that game. So we're going to swing back to that game. Then we have the Broncos at Titans in Tennessee. I have the Tennessee Titans winning this game. I think they're the better football team. I think the Broncos are in shambles. I think Nathaniel Hackett is either the next head coach to get fired or is going to be fired on the Monday after the season. I think it's called Black Monday. I don't remember what it is. But him and Cliff Kingsbury are the next guys that are gone, getting the axe. Bye-bye forever. So I have the Titans winning that game. And then we have the Minnesota Vikings at Buffalo to play the Buffalo Bills. This is a very interesting game because tentatively I have Minnesota winning this game. And it's not because I don't believe in Buffalo. I know that we beat them as the Jets did, like we beat Buffalo. But Minnesota's a good team. It's more along the lines of I don't know the Josh Allen situation. Josh Allen obviously hurt his UCL and has a sprained UCL injury in his elbow. It's in his throwing arm. We know how high-flying that offense is throwing the ball. They don't really run the ball effectively. So we don't know what we're going to see there. And he's day-to-day with an injury as of time of recording this video. So for me, when I look at this team and when I look at what this matchup is going to be, I think it's going to be very hard for Buffalo to stop what Minnesota has on offense if they can't keep up on offense with it. And if this is a Case Keenum-led Bills, they lose this game. And if it's a hurt Buffalo, if it's a hurt Josh Allen, I don't know how they keep up with Minnesota. Minnesota's winning a lot of one-score games and finding out ways to grind out wins, which is something that's a little bit disappointing in my eyes. I think they've got a really good roster. I think they should be winning by more, but they're finding ways to win football games the same way the Giants are. It's just, it doesn't matter at the end of the game when it comes to crunch time, they're winning football games. And against Buffalo, who's hurt, especially now at quarterback possibly, this is an interesting game. I have Minnesota winning this game right now. Then you have the New York Giants versus the Texans at MetLife. The Giants are going to win this one. They're the better football team. It was really impressive from the Texans to keep up with the Eagles for that first half of football that they did, but that was, I think, more fluke than anything. Honestly, I think the Giants are a better football team. They're coming off a rest, and so they're going to be coming back healthy, except for the guy who rode the ATV and broke his hand, which is just dumb, right? But I think the Giants are the better football team, so I have the Giants winning there. Then we move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game. It's plain and simple. Jacksonville is not a good football team yet. They are still developing and turning into that. They have some good pieces. They have some good players. I like their coaching staff, but they're just not ready to beat and go against the better teams in the NFL. And so Kansas City is going to win that one. And then the second to last 1 o'clock game, because I've made my decision on the Browns-Dolphins game, is the Saints at Steelers. I have the Saints winning this game. I just think the Saints defense is better than what Matt Canada and the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do on offense. And that's just unfortunate. They are getting TJ Watt back allegedly this Sunday, so keep an eye on that. And that might be a potential game breaker there. But Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, like it doesn't matter who's under center for New Orleans, whether they keep running Andy Dalton, whatever it is. They've got a lot of really, really good weapons there. And so, yeah, I think New Orleans walks away with that because, unfortunately, I think Pittsburgh is just a bad football team. And then we're going to wrap it up with the Browns and the Dolphins with the 1 o'clock games. I'm going to give it to the Browns. The Browns are coming off of rest. And after thinking about it and after talking about the Bears game, the one thing that the Dolphins are not doing successfully is stopping the run game. They are letting teams run all up and down on them. And the Browns are one of the better run teams. They have the most lethal 1-2 punch in the running back room in the NFL right now. And that offensive line is doing well. And they're going to take the game out of Jacoby Brissett's hands. And so you just lean on that run game against Miami, who's struggling to stop the run. I think you can keep up with that high-flying offense that Miami has. But also, I like Denver's secondary. Not Denver, I'm sorry. I like Cleveland's secondary. They have a good cornerback duo. They've got pretty good safeties. And I'm pretty sure they can try and limit the explosiveness of Tyreek Hill. You're never going to eliminate it, right? The only team that's done that in this year is the New York Jets, and I think that's because they have the best 1-2 cornerback duo in the NFL, and if you extend that to the slot corner, they have the best trio of corners in the NFL. So it's hard to stop Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and it's almost impossible. But if you can limit what they can do and just make it to where it's not them blowing you out and you have to like score 30 points to keep up with him, if you can keep Miami under 24, I think they can score. I think they can score more than 24 points with the run game. So I'm going to have the Browns winning this game. And then we move on to the 4 o'clock games. At 4:05, we have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Las Vegas Raiders. And this is going to be a very, very fun and interesting game because both teams are bad. Right now, I have no faith in either team, but I think I'm going to have the Las Vegas Raiders winning this game. Jeff Saturday came out and called them a bad team. He's now the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts are going to be in a little bit of a disarray after the firing of their head coach and trying to figure it out. But also, I think the Raiders are fighting for their season. This is the last opportunity that they have to try and stay relevant in the AFC conversation because some teams are starting to run away with it, and this might be their last opportunity to do that. And I just have more faith in Indianapolis. Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, Derek Carr, Darren Waller are just better options, in my opinion, offensively than what Indianapolis has right now. Then we move on to the Arizona Cardinals versus the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to have the Rams winning this game. I don't believe in the Cardinals. I think Cliff Kingsbury is my next head coach that gets fired throughout the season. They are 0-2 since Call of Duty came out, and so you can see how that's affecting Kyler Murray. That is obviously a joke. I just think that the Rams are a better football team than the Arizona Cardinals. You can see that they're frustrated, and that whole offense is just DeAndre Hopkins. They don't have anything else going on for them in Arizona, unfortunately, and teams have figured that out. They're not playing good defense in Arizona. They're not playing good offense. If you're not playing good football, you're just not going to win football games against teams that are playing halfway decent football and what the Rams are doing right now. Then we have the Cowboys at Green Bay. I said it earlier. Green Bay is a bad football team now, and the Cowboys aren't. The Cowboys are a well-run, well-managed football team, and even though this is probably Mike McCarthy's last year before Sean Payton comes in to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to beat the Green Bay Packers. And it's not going to be good, and it's not going to be close. It's going to be a routing, probably. And so I have Dallas Cowboys winning there. Then we move to Sunday Night Football. First game flexed into no, I'm sorry. That's next week. But next week is the game that got flexed. Sorry. But it's the Los Angeles Chargers versus the San Francisco 49ers. I have the 49ers winning this one. I think 49ers are a better football team. The 49ers are also coming off of rest, which I think is very, very important. This gave Christian McCaffrey more time to get adapted and familiar with this offensive playbook. And now with the addition of Christian McCaffrey, they've got lethal weapons everywhere. Deebo Samuel's still there. Christian McCaffrey is there, and he ran a ball in, caught a ball in, and threw a ball in to the end zone. Like, he's doing everything for them. He is the perfect weapon for that Shanahan system and what they do there. They are by far and away one of the better football teams in the NFL, and people are sleeping on them just because they had a slow start, and you shouldn't. The 49ers, I think, are going to end up winning the NFC West. I think they're that good. They're gonna be a legitimate Super Bowl contenders. Right now, I think they're my Super Bowl favorite team. After Buffalo kind of fell back to earth a little bit. And then we're gonna go on to Monday Night Football. The Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, I love the Commies and what they're doing. I just do not have confidence in the Commanders to be able to stop the offensive weaponry that Philadelphia has. A.J. Brown is absolutely insane. I forget their running back in Philadelphia, and that's on me, but he is running like the ground has slept with his girlfriend. Like, he runs angry and effective. And I think the best thing is that Nick Sirianni, who should be a candidate for Coach of the Year, has taken the game out of Justin Hurts' hands, really. Like, they're not asking Justin Hurts to make these incredible plays, and they're not asking for magic out of him. They're asking him to play within the system, get the balls to his playmakers, and when the playmakers aren't open, which is miraculously if they're not, use your legs and be dynamic. And it's, dude, the game plan works, and that's where, like, it comes down to system quarterbacks can win you football games, and they can win you championships possibly. Now, I'm not ready to say that the Eagles are a championship team and that they're going to win the Super Bowl or anything like that. The NFL this year is way too crazy to do that, and I still think that the Philadelphia Eagles have faced the easiest schedule of any of the top teams in the NFL. They have had a cupcake of a schedule. But that being said, it's still impressive that they're 8-0, and at the end of this week, they're probably going to be 9-0. And so that's kind of how I look at it. Guys, those are my predictions. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Where do you think I was right? Where do you think I was wrong? And last but not least, go Jets.